Geometry is all around us. Not surprisingly, it finds its way into business and more specifically into trading. Lines, arcs, and shapes can be found everywhere. Interestingly enough, this week's indicator creates a particular three-sided shape through multiple repeating cycles, hence the name. But don't look for any pumpkin eyes on your chart. This week, we're looking at a price overlay baseline indicator. If you've been on the site in the last few days, you'll notice that it may have looked a bit odd. We're going through some major software updates through our hosting service. We're working on it, and it should be up to snuff shortly. If you need a particular indicator, please email us in the meantime and we'll get it out to you. We'll be posting this week's blog as soon as we can. The Triangle Moving Average Generalized is another tool from one of our heroes, John Ehlers. This baseline comes from his trend analysis work in the 1990s, and the indicator, which was originally from an MT5 2019 version, was cleaned up and recoded for MT4 by Niels, our in-house specialist. This week, we thought we'd try something a little different and look at the Swissy, or the US dollar against the Swiss franc. Interestingly enough, if you pay for something in Switzerland with euros, you get Swiss francs back in return to keep you coming back for more cheese, chocolate, skiing, and St. Bernard rescues. Can I get a hop Schweiz? We're going to jump right in. The indicator is pretty much as you get it right out of the box, except we thickened up the signal line, but left the default settings. Ready, steady, get your yodel on. We'll jump right in here with this conveniently placed first long signal. Okay, we had a neat little run on price, which would have netted a win once your exit indicator got you out. Since we don't use baselines as exits, we'll not consider an opposite signal as an exit, only as an entry point. So exits and profits and losses are somewhat subjective. Let's follow the short signal now. All right, interesting moment we felt warrants a quick comment. Had we entered on that second short candle, we'd probably have hit our first take profit level, moved our stop loss to break even, and depending on the ATR, two things could have happened. Either the second half of your trade would have been stopped out, or you would have collected something on the trailing stop. However, did you notice that the big blue candle did not cross back over the signal line? That means we're still in a downward trend and looking for a re-entry. Let's see how that would have played out. Well, that worked out really nice for us. Long, smooth ride down the Swiss Alps right into the lodge with a pocket full of profits. Long signal coming up. We'll take that every time. Nice, smooth back up the bunny slopes to get more cheese for your fondue. Next, a short. We had two reversals, the first to the long side, then back to the short side, otherwise known as a head fake. Things like this pull in the uninformed, but you, with your glorious algorithm, would have been safely couched in on the side, watching those shenanigans pass you by. So let's see what happens next. Interesting. A small trade may have been possible depending on the rest of your algo, but if you never got in on this, no big deal. There was a long signal, another short signal right after, so trading only using this one indicator would have been costly. Let's continue. Notice that price has been range bound over the last 15 or so periods. You'd have been scrolling through the rest of the pairs until this pair offered a tradable signal. Let's see if we get something worthy. And we did get something quite worthy of our time. Price took the double black diamond trail in that short trade. With that kind of momentum, I'm curious to see how this long plays out. That was a wonderful ride up the ski lift. You'll notice right in the middle of that run, there was a slight dip below the signal line. That is not an exit signal. Remember, we don't use baselines to exit. Your other indicators would have kept you in the trade. There was a small short trade which appeared to have had enough movement to pull in some profits. Long trade next. Ooh, not great. That may have resulted in your trade stopping out. No matter. It's what can happen, and we just make our notes and press on. Big momentum short signal coming up. Doesn't it feel great when things go your way? A nice trade that would have covered that last losing trade with style and put extra loot in your ski jacket. A last long signal is up. With the last profitable trade for this currency pair, we'll wrap it up here. The Swissy did pretty well for us. Prolonged runs, smooth price action. Time to stow the skis and boots for a little relaxation. Good baseline indicator as well. Definitely worth the time to test it out on your own. Get it from the Stonehill Forex Indicator library at no cost. The link is in the video's description. A quick reminder that financial advice can be dangerous to your account's health. Approach with caution. We do, and it's not just something we're willing to offer as well. Our only goal is to make you a better trader.